Our next guest is Blin, the director of the film What Resonates in Silence. We are very glad to have you here, although in the remote form, but it's better than nothing in our modern times we're currently living in. So welcome, welcome here.
And thanks for having me.
So it's our pleasure. So I want to ask you a few questions about your film, of course, and the main character of What Resonates in Silence is a girl who suffered from the silence of adults and the deprivation of her right to mourn. And as an adult, she talks about the tender gestures that connects her with the dead. And my question is, did any particular circumstance inspired you to make a film about how hiding death does not make it disappear? What was the inspiration? What were the beginnings of working on this film?
The inspiration actually for this film is kind of multiple for me. At the base, the first time I was working on this movie actually was during a workshop when I experienced for the first time automatic writing. So I was working on two paintings by René Magritte, and I imagined the monologue of a young woman who had to do the makeup and the preparation of a woman's body for the last time. And a few years later, when I decided to transform it in a movie, actually, I worked on my own experience and on my own sensations and how these images that I had when I was a little girl affected me in my process of grieving and mourning. So it's kind of multiple because it's based on my own experience and also testimonies of other people who shared with me how it affected them in their life, having or not having these images.
Mm-hmm. So this film is a personal story for you, as it was kind of inspired by your own experiences.
Yeah.
And the narration of the main character accompanies the viewer throughout the film. And what was your work on the script? Did you experience any difficulties during this creative process?
It was really interesting for me because it was the first time I was working like that. And actually, the first thing I had on the movie was the voiceover, was the monologue of this woman. So the writing of this part was quite natural in a way. I was working with this exercise of automatic writing. So it was always moving. And the construction was actually quite natural for this part. But after I had this, I was stuck with the form of the movie, actually. It was more the biggest difficulties for me was about finding the direction, finding the cinematographic writing of the movie. And I was really not feeling the storyboard and the animatic. So I took a few steps back and I did images for the film with the same techniques, actually. So with automatic writing. So I did hundreds and hundreds of drawings, listening to the voiceover. And after a while, I could see that there were patterns and symbols and stuff always coming back. So it was my main tools to form the storyboard and all the narrative construction for the first part of the movie.
Yeah, that's actually what I wanted also to ask you about the drawing technique that you used in What Resonated Silence. Because as you told us, it's full of symbols, of contrast, of depth obtained by using pencil of different thickness, taking the world of a young character and the academic drawing to the world of adults. So I guess this was intentional. And how long did it take actually to draw? And do you remember how many drawings exactly made during the work?
Well, I think for the production of the drawings, first it was animated on computer, on TV Paint, and after that I did all the drawings on paper, with traditional techniques, with oil pastel for the first part and charcoal for the second one. And I think it lasted 1.5 years for the animation and also for the final images. And in terms of numbers of drawings, it's a hard question for me. For the animation, for the first part, it was between 8 and 12 drawings per second. So after we have to do the math, but there's hundreds and hundreds of drawing.
That's a lot.
So,
that's probably a very impressive number. I'm not that good at maths. I can't calculate it, but I can say that probably it's a lot. And I want to ask you also about the music, because we can't forget the music composed by Pierre Calais. What was your collaboration like, and what were your goals to achieve? Such a beautiful and coherent word in terms of images, spoken word, and music. Yeah, maybe the first part of the question first. What was your collaboration with Pierre like?
It was actually an amazing experience, because I knew the previous work of Pierre, and I really wanted to work with him on this project, but I'm not used to work with music, so it's always something kind of really weird for me to be working with somebody on that. And at the beginning of the project, we were thinking about something quite different for the music, actually. It was more like electronics and other stuff. And after a while, when we tried to put that with the images, we saw that it was not working at all. So I told Pierre that I wanted him to do really as he felt, with all the freedom about that, and just to take the essence of the project and try something as he was imagining it. And it was just the second music he proposed me was the final one. And it was an evidence for me that it was the one for the film. And I think we really wanted to convey a sense of hypnosis in some kind of way. The music by Pierre is like voices responding to one another. And I think it really conveys you with the strings and the cellos and all of that, this sense of intimacy and this state of mind you have to be in order to connect with the subject and your own experience of grief and mourning. So it was incredible to work with him. And I think the balance in the movie was really important, also with all the people we worked with the sound. And I did the sound design with Jan Volsi, and it was really, it's in a big contrast with the music of Pierre, and I think it convey another thing in the story too. So you have this kind of epidermic materials with the sound, and all the hypnosis and sensibility with the music of Pierre, and it's really working with the voice also of my comedian Salakita. Everything is just on the string, and it was all a question of balance to be in the movie and to let also the spectator have his own place in the experience.
Yeah, I think it can be perfectly felt, like everything what you said during the movie, because I think that it blends perfectly the images, the narration, the music. I think it's a really, really good job in that, and it evokes incredible emotions, I think. So I
Thank
think
you
the
so
goal
much.
is fulfilled here. I have also a question. Can you reveal, like a question at the end, let's say, can you reveal what project you are currently working on? Will it be something similar or completely different to what this film is about?
I don't know for the moment what form it will be, but I'm currently working on two quite different projects. I had the chance that producer proposed me to do the scenario and the directing of a feature film, and it's an adaptation of children's books by Quentin Blake and Johnny Oman. So it's another adventure. And I'm also currently working and writing another short film, which will be about how we can live in peace with all the people we could have been in our own lives. So I just have that for the moment. I don't know what form
Okay.
it will be, but also quite personal subject.
All right, so we're all looking forward to hearing about your new projects. And as for today, that were all my questions I wanted to ask you. Thank you very much for
Thank you
having
so
this
much.
short Q&A. And yeah, and I hope to see you in the future, maybe in real life. Thank you very
With
much.
great
Bye.
pleasure. Have a great festival, and thank you so much for the invitation.
Thank you. Thank you for being with us.
Thank
Bye.
you.